Swifties are falling in love with every detail of Taylor Swift's Eras Tour now that it is launched. Across the globe, Taylor Swift is touring the Eras Tour, and Swifties couldn't wait anymore. From the recently released of Speak Now Taylor's version to more Eras Tour dates, here are some of Taylor Swift's upcoming events. Swift's Eras Tour celebrates all of her studio albums, including her latest Midnights, and those who didn't get a tour, Lover, Folklore, and Evermore. After 2018's Reputation Stadium Tour, this tour will be Swift's second all-stadium tour. Each weekend, it draws record-breaking crowds to a different U.S. city, with headlines covering everything from how demand broke Ticketmaster to people spending anything. It's generated a lot of attention. This is her sixth concert tour, and she described it as a journey through her career's musical eras. As of now, there are 131 shows for the Eras Tour all throughout the world. For North America, there are 53 shows. Each dates have merely 2 to 6 shows every weekend. The tour in the U.S. started on March 17th at Glendale, Arizona, where according to estimation, the 2 back-to-back dates are sold out and brought over 150,000 Swifties. The city of Glendale even officially renamed itself Swift City in honor of the Eras Tour kickoff. Therefore, each state and city attempted to honor Taylor with honorary distinctions. In Las Vegas, where the show was performed on Allegiant Stadium, more than 130,000 Swifties attended both shows, and the Sin City came through as well. They light their way gateway arches every night before Swift's shows on March 24th and 25th, displaying all of Swift's albums. Arlington went all out to celebrate Taylor Swift's 3 shows at AT&T Stadium from March 31st to April 2nd, when they gave Swift a key to the city. It's probably the most city that impressed the Swifties is when Tampa, Florida made the singer-songwriter the mayor for her April 13th to 15th show. As for other cities, they dedicated a bench, changed their stadium name to Taylor's version, changed their city's name, and even made a proclamation from the state governor in New Jersey. As the tour keeps on generating incomes for each city, it's just fair that they do these to promote more tourists that would keep their economy good. If you are wondering how this helps the economy, here's the answer. There have been multiple sellouts of the Eras Tour in cities throughout the country, with tickets averaging just over $250. Forbes reports that Taylor Swift's Eras Tour could bring in $4.6 billion for local economies. The Swifties from each state contribute to the income of hotels, restaurants, and different establishments near the stadium where she performs. During her Las Vegas concerts in March, tourism rebounded to pre-COVID levels. Cities across the nation have experienced a surge in hotel and restaurant bookings. Swift's first 2 Chicago concerts have also resulted in an all-time high of 44,383 hotel room reservations per night, sending occupancy rates up to 96.8% in the area, according to Fortune. According to a recent report, her popularity has significantly impacted local economies. In addition to attending the shows, fans are also making a whole trip out of it, supporting local businesses and bringing in substantial amounts of money. As of now, there are still 12 shows left for the North American leg, with her first ever 6 shows to SoFi Stadium in California wraps the U.S. tour. After this, she is finally going to Latin America, where she has not stepped foot for years now. For South America, she'll be having 13 shows, respectively, in Mexico, where she will start her Latam leg on August 24th to 27th. Then she might take a rest for the whole September, since her next show would not be until November 9th in Argentina, with 3 consecutive shows. She would then wrap out the Latam leg with 6 shows in Brazil, starting November 17th to 26th. Though many Latam countries are disappointed that they are not a part of this tour, since her demand here is totally unstoppable. A number of world leaders have also made passionate appeals to Taylor to come and perform in their countries. For instance, the president of Chile, Gabriel Boric, who is actually also a Swiftie, stated on a video that she wrote a message to Taylor not long ago to include them on the tour. Her demands of these countries even went as far as scalpers assaulting Swifties in Brazil while they're in queue for purchasing tickets on general sales. The original plan was only to do 8 shows in Latin, but due to their high demand, with approximately 1 million people queuing for 24,000 pre-sale tickets in Buenos Aires and over 3 million in general sales, she added more dates. Now moving from that, her next stop will be in Asia and Australia at the beginning of 2024. February 7th, she will begin her Asian leg in Tokyo, Japan, with her 4 shows. She will then go straight to Melbourne and Sydney, Australia, on February 16th to 18th, and then the following week for 7 shows. After this, she will be back to Asia for her Singapore tour starting March 2nd until March 8th, with only 1 day rest between the 3rd date. Now with these short list of shows, of course, many Asian, Australians, and even New Zealand Swifties are very disappointed. For Asia, the 2 countries with 10 shows combined are still not enough, since they are talking about the whole Asia fighting for tickets. This reportedly went up to 22 million registration for Singapore, and as the sales began, the queue went up to 3 million. There were millions of Taylor Swift fans in Asia competing for 300,000 concert tickets as general sales began for her 6 shows in Singapore next year. As originally planned, Swift will perform at the Tokyo Dome in February and the Singapore National Stadium in March. The number of shows in Singapore have been doubled. Besides Singapore, its neighbors all have poor concert infrastructure, ticket scalping cultures, and religious conservatism to blame for the pop icon's choice. As a result of the tour not having dates in the Philippines, China, India, Malaysia, Thailand, and South Korea, Swift received backlash from fans. It is believed that Thailand and the Philippines may not have the infrastructure required to host the Eras Tour like Singapore and Japan. While in Malaysia, it may be more difficult for foreign artists to perform during Ramadan because of potential conservative and religious backlash. It is expected that Taylor Swift's concerts will boost tourism revenue in the tourist-friendly Asian country following the dip experienced during the pandemic. As of now, unfortunately, after the Battle of the Great War, all of 6 Singapore shows are sold out. While for Japan, a lottery system has begun on June 27th. More details will soon be announced for general sales. Now in Australia, their government is stepping in to address the growing issue of ticket resale. This comes after her tickets were listed not only doubled but tripled the price on different reseller websites. As a result, the governments of Victoria and New South Wales have taken steps to prevent scalping, the practice of reselling tickets with large premiums. Australian Swifties and lawmakers also expressed dismay that Eras will not at different cities during its 7 dates in Sydney and Melbourne. After this, it seems like Swift will take a rest for the remaining March date and the whole April, since there was no dates for the said month. She will start her European leg with 48 shows starting May up until August. First stop will start with 4 shows on May 9th in Nanterre, France, and will end with 3 shows in London, England. Aside from there, she'll perform 3 shows in Sweden, 2 shows in Portugal, 1 show in Spain, 2 shows again in France, but in Lyon, 3 shows in Scotland, 3 shows in Liverpool, England, 1 show in Wales, 3 shows in London, England, 3 shows in Ireland, 3 shows in Netherlands, 2 shows in Switzerland, 2 shows in Italy, 7 shows in Germany, 3 shows in Poland, 3 shows in Austria, and finally back in London, England, with the last 3 shows will wrap her European leg. Paramore has been announced as the opening act for all of Taylor Swift's Europe shows. As for Latin, Australian, and Singapore, Sabrina Carpenter will be her opening act. Consequently, she's not announced who will be her opening act in Japan. The European leg might be the end of the Eras Tour, since as of now there will be no dates for Canadian Swifties. With that, many are devastated. All the Canadian Swifties are desperate to see the music star live. Even their Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, appealed to her on their behalf. In addition, other world leaders have also expressed their plea on Twitter, including Thailand's pro-democracy party candidate for Prime Minister Pita Limbajanet. While Taylor Swift Eras Tour is still in its infancy, economists predict that she will have the highest grossing tour ever. Wall Street Journal reports that Swift's Stadium Concert Tour, which features 40 song sets with elaborate staging, choreography, and costume changes, will outperform Elton John's Farewell Tour in terms of ticket, merchandise, and sponsorship revenue. The Eras Tour is estimated to generate $4.6 billion consumer spending in the United States alone, according to a data report from research company Question Pro. They also found concert goers spend about $1,300 per show, 71% saying it's worth it, and 91% saying they'll go again. By the end of the tour, the Eras Tour will have contributed $5 billion to the global economy. More than 50 countries' gross domestic product combined. Did you get Eras Tour tickets? Let us know in the comment section below. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.